letting these phonies run the country into the ground. Yes, the pendulum started to swing to the right, but look what just happened today. And look what they've done to Trump simply for espousing the ideas that I have espoused since I began in radio. These evil, evil ideas of nationality, of a nation being defined by firm borders, by a central language, a common language, in this case English, of course, and by a common culture. What do you mean we have no culture in this country? Well, of course we have a culture. You want me to tell you what it is? I can tell you if you'd like to know. And so, my friends, today the question is firing Bannon a big deal? Outside the Beltway, or the media know who he is? Person walking around in somewhere in the Midwest. I picked the Midwest not because I'm bashing them. Midwest. It's a summer, right? It's August. And they feed at the trough of the buffet. Do they know who Steve Bannon is? But why did Trump do it now? Obviously, Trump was under fire for his comments, daring to say there were bad actors on the left and on the right, as well as good people on both sides in Charlottesville. That was a crime against the big lie. And then many said it was Bannon who was Trump's chief strategist. And they accused him of being a racist and a white nationalist. And that is why the president was supposedly sympathetic to neo-Nazis and white supremacists. All a big lie. Let me remind you again, Donald Trump has a daughter named Ivanka Kushner, who is an Orthodox Jew. Donald Trump's grandchildren from that marriage are Jewish. They follow the Jewish laws. They're not who call Donald Trump a white supremacist are the ones who are the racists. Trump over the finish line to get Trump elected. A lot of what he said, a lot of what Bannon said, I laid out in Government Zero, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. But after Trump won and Bannon was named chief strategist and Reince Priebus was named chief of staff, it became a battle between the message versus the men of the establishment, the agenda versus the authorities, the ideas versus the institution. First, secure our border, make Mexico build a wall, etc. I don't have to go through the agenda items. Immediately came under full assault from the corrupt, entrenched citizens of the D.C. swamp. But this firing of Bannon, is this Trump being strong by getting rid of a disruptive voice in the White House? I mean, after all, Bannon did just do a crazy thing. He gave an interview just the other day to a left-wing publication where he allegedly thought it was supposedly off the record. Well, I don't know if it was really intentional or whatnot. Maybe he was wanting to get fired. Or maybe this is Trump being weak and caving in to Nancy Pelosi and the haters on the left. Bannon became the one blamed for the populist views that many have painted as racist. And that means my views as well as the views of extremists, things they don't like. And Trump wanting the heat to stop gives the media, the left, and the weak-kneed Republicans Bannon's head on a platter. But the rad-dem Bolsheviks stop their hatred. Did you hear what Nancy Pelosi already said? She wants everyone fired. See, and to Nancy Pelosi, not all men are equal. Some of you have no right to vote. That would be everyone who listens to the Savage Nation, with the exception of the progs who listen in order to trip me up. The conservative one at that has now been silenced, and he's the one who had a good message. It's the message that told Democrat Eddie in Western Pennsylvania, or Milwaukee, or the laid-off auto worker in Detroit, that they mattered to President Trump. Well, who will carry that message now? Will it be President Trump himself? Can he maneuver his way around the swamp alone? Or will he be pulled down into the murky depths by the same creatures that have resided in it during the Obama years? And will the items we voted for him to implement, borders, language, and culture? I'm of this monologue. Robert, that's mean. Just play it a little bit. So the questions on the board are, is firing Bannon a big deal? Did Trump do the right thing? Why did he do it now? And did you read about the alt-Muslims knifing women with strollers in Finland, or it didn't make it to the local newspaper? Because it would upset you to understand that open borders kill. Did you know that? And when I come back on the Savage Nation, I'll take your calls, and I will play a montage put together by my superb team of Jim, it's Friday, lighten up. Jim and Robert put together a great montage of those in the media who have a blind spot when it comes to naming terrorists unless They happen to be white. This is the Savage Nation, Be Here or Be Nowhere. Savage Nation is sponsored by Swiss America, the only company I trust with my financial future. Call 800-289-2646 or SwissAmerica.com. Bannon. So the sheep are bagging in America. Bannon. Gone. Bannon now. See, Bannon is served in the Navy, you jerks, you. He's the furthest thing from a Nazi you could ever find. You're the real Nazi, you so-called progressive, headscarf-wearing liars, you. Bannon. I mean, according to the left, a sheet company should come to him and say, it's the preferred sheet for burning crosses, the Bannon sheet. This is how crazy they are. You have to drudge. Oh, one person close to Bannon says he has his eye on who he believes helped accelerate his ouster, Matt Drudge, who regularly talks with Bannon. And I hope Matt is happy because his work helped Bannon not be in the West Wing, but it helped Democrats and people that didn't vote for Trump be in the West Wing. For weeks now, it's been anti-McMaster every day. And then he doesn't like Javanka, who is Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump. And Bannon doesn't like Cohn and McMaster. You know, when you take on the military,